Did you know that right now you can't find Flamin' Hot Cheetos in most grocery stores? And it's not because they're popular, it's because the factory that invented them just shut down permanently. You walk into your local grocery store expecting to grab your usual items, but half the shelves look like a zombie apocalypse hit. I'm about to reveal 6 everyday products that have mysteriously vanished from stores this month. And trust me, number 4 will shock you. Here's what's really happening in February 2026. We're facing supply chain disruptions that make the toilet paper shortage of 2020 look like child's play. But this time, it's not panic buying causing the problem. Climate disasters, factory closures, and economic shifts are targeting products you use every single day. These aren't luxury items or seasonal goods. These are things sitting in your kitchen right now that might not be there next month. Let me show you what's disappearing and why. Item 1. Name brand breakfast cereal eels. First up, your kid's favorite cereal just became a treasure hunt. General Mills, the company behind Cheerios, Lucky Charms, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch, just yanked entire product lines off grocery shelves. We're talking about Honey Nut Cheerios Medley Crunch, chocolate peanut butter Cheerios, and those mini Honey Nut Cheerios boxes. But here's the shocking part. This isn't temporary. The company's profits plummeted 20% in December 2025, and they're scrambling to stay afloat. Picture this. You're standing in the cereal aisle, and instead of 50 different Cheerios varieties, you're staring at empty spots with little temporarily out-of-stock signs. Except they're not coming back. Why? 3 brutal realities hit at once. Climate disasters are decimating the wheat, corn, and rice crops that make these cereals possible. Families are ditching expensive name brands for store generics to save money. And here's the twist. 12% of American adults are now using weight loss drugs, so they're skipping sugary cereals entirely for protein-rich breakfasts. The company's solution? They're betting everything on Frosted Lemon Cheerios this summer. One new flavor to replace dozens of discontinued ones. So if your family has a favorite cereal, you might want to check General Mills' product locator online, because what you find might break your heart. Item 2. Tropicana Orange Juice. Number 2 will ruin your morning routine. Tropicana orange juice is vanishing from grocery stores faster than ice cream on a hot day. Picture this. You're standing in the juice aisle, scanning shelf after shelf. Where Tropicana used to sit, there's just empty space or generic brands you've never heard of. You check 3 more stores. Same story. Here's the devastating truth. Florida's orange production just hit record lows, the worst numbers ever recorded by the USDA. We're not talking about a bad season. This is a complete agricultural disaster. First, Mother Nature went to war with Florida. Hurricanes Irma, Ian, and Milton didn't just damage crops, they obliterated entire orange groves. Imagine decades-old trees, some planted by families generations ago, ripped from the ground in a single night. But the hurricanes were just the beginning. A bacterial disease called citrus greening has been silently killing orange trees for years. It's like plant cancer. Once it hits, the tree is doomed. The fruit becomes bitter and inedible. Then came the final blow. Alico Citrus, one of Tropicana's biggest suppliers, completely shut down operations after the 2025 growing season. This wasn't a temporary closure. They're done forever. Tropicana is now scrambling to find new suppliers who can meet their quality standards. But here's the problem. There aren't many left. The company is fighting for the same limited orange supply as everyone else. The result? Even when stores run sales on Tropicana, it's completely hit or miss whether you'll actually find it on shelves. Store managers are telling customers they don't know when the next shipment will arrive. If you're a Tropicana loyalist, start checking multiple stores or switch to other brands now, because this shortage isn't getting better anytime soon. Item 3. Frito-Lay Snacks. Item number 3 is about to break every snack lover's heart. Your favorite Frito-Lay products are disappearing, and it's not what you think. Remember Flamin' Hot Cheetos? That spicy, addictive snack that launched 1,000 TikTok challenges? The California factory where they were literally invented just closed permanently. The birthplace of your favorite snack is now an empty building. But it gets worse. PepsiCo, which owns Frito-Lay, is shutting down manufacturing plants across the country. Orlando, Florida, closed. Liberty, New York, gone. These aren't small facilities. These are massive production centers that supplied entire regions. Here's the shocking part. This isn't about money problems. PepsiCo is deliberately reducing their product lines by 20%. They're killing off flavors and varieties that have been around for decades. Why? Consumer habits are changing faster than companies can keep up. People are obsessed with protein and clean ingredients. The old school artificially flavored chips are becoming yesterday's news. Walk into any store right now and you'll see the evidence. Instead of regular Doritos, you'll find simply NKD versions, stripped of colors and artificial flavors. Cheetos are getting protein boosts. It's like watching your childhood snacks get a complete makeover. But here's what companies aren't telling you. It takes years to retool factories for new products. So, while they're pivoting to healthier options, the classics you grew up with are stuck in limbo. Some Reddit users are reporting that their local gas stations have better Frito-Lay selections than major grocery chains. The supply chain is so messed up that convenience stores are becoming the go-to spot for snack hunting. If you have a favorite Frito-Lay product, stock up now, because once these production changes are complete, some flavors might never come back. Item 4, frozen cauliflower products. Number 4 is going to blow your mind because it's about cauliflower. Yes, cauliflower. The vegetable that somehow became the darling of every health influencer on Instagram. California grows 90% of America's cauliflower crop. That means when California has problems, the entire country feels it. And right now, California is having massive problems. Picture this. You're trying to make cauliflower pizza crust for your family's weekly pizza night. You check the frozen section for those convenient bags of riced cauliflower. Empty. You try another store. Empty. A third store? Maybe one sad frost-covered bag in the back corner. This isn't your imagination. Reddit users are reporting 3-week shortages at major stores like Sam's Club. We're talking about warehouse stores that pride themselves on never running out of anything. The perfect storm hit California's cauliflower farms hard. Heavy rains that lasted for weeks flooded fields. Then unexpected freezing temperatures destroyed crops that survived the flooding. It's like nature specifically targeted this one vegetable. But here's the crazy part. Demand for cauliflower has absolutely exploded. People aren't just eating it as a side dish anymore. They're turning it into rice, pizza crusts, pasta, even bread. Every food blogger and fitness influencer has been pushing cauliflower as the miracle substitute for everything. The frozen food manufacturers can't keep up. They're getting orders for cauliflower products they've never seen before. Meanwhile, the California farms that supply them are producing a fraction of their normal crop. The supply chain is completely broken. One Reddit user said they found riced cauliflower at a tiny local grocery store while major chains were sold out. Another drove to 4 different stores before finding a single bag. If you're counting on cauliflower for your meal planning, you need backup options, because this shortage is real and it's not ending anytime soon. Item 5. Rotisserie chickens. Okay, here's where things get really personal. You know that golden, juicy rotisserie chicken that saves your dinner when you're too tired to cook? The one that costs like $8 and feeds your whole family? Well, kiss that convenience goodbye. I was at my local grocery store last Tuesday, and the rotisserie section was completely empty. Not just low on chickens, I'm talking bare warming cases with a sad little sign that said, temporarily unavailable. The deli worker told me they hadn't received a chicken delivery in 4 days. But here's the thing that'll blow your mind. This isn't just happening at one store. It's happening everywhere. See, most people think rotisserie chickens are just regular chickens thrown in an oven. Wrong. These birds go through an incredibly precise supply chain that's more fragile than a house of cards. First, you need specific sized chickens. Not too big, not too small. They have to fit perfectly in those rotating ovens. Then, you need processing plants that can handle the specialized preparation. Finally, you need refrigerated trucks that can deliver them fresh every single morning. Right now, all three of those steps are falling apart. The chicken farms are getting crushed by feed costs. Corn prices have skyrocketed because of those same climate disasters I mentioned earlier. When it costs more to feed a chicken than you can sell it for, guess what? Farmers stop raising chickens. But wait, it gets worse. The processing plants are running with skeleton crews. Remember how everyone quit their jobs during the pandemic? Well, chicken processing plants never recovered. These are tough, physical jobs that pay barely above minimum wage. Workers are saying no thanks and finding better opportunities elsewhere. One plant manager in Georgia told reporters they're operating at 60% capacity because they can't find enough people willing to do the work. 60%. That means 40% fewer chickens getting processed every single day. And here's the part that really hit me. The seasonal demand is all messed up now. Used to be, you could predict when people would buy rotisserie chickens, busy weeknights, Sunday family dinners, that kind of thing. Now, everyone's buying them all the time because people are working from home, kids are home more, and families are eating together more often. The demand has basically doubled, but the supply has been cut in half. I talked to a grocery store manager in Ohio last week, and she said something that stuck with me. She said, "We used to sell maybe 30 rotisserie chickens on a typical Tuesday. Now we get 30 people asking for them, but we only have 12 birds to sell. The math just doesn't work anymore." And here's the kicker. Even when stores do get chickens, they're not the same quality. Desperate suppliers are sending whatever birds they can find. Some are too small, some are too big, some taste different because they're from different farms with different feed. So that perfectly seasoned, reliably delicious rotisserie chicken you've been buying for years, it's becoming a luxury item. The grocery chains are trying to adapt. Some are pre-selling chickens like concert tickets. Others are limiting how many you can buy. I even saw one store that started taking reservations for rotisserie chickens like their fancy restaurant meals. But here's what really worries me. This isn't a temporary shortage that'll fix itself in a few weeks. The problems causing this, high feed costs, labor shortages, supply chain disruptions, these are long-term issues. Industry experts are saying we might not see normal rotisserie chicken availability until late 2026 or early 2027. That's a whole year of scrambling for dinner solutions. So if you see a rotisserie chicken at your grocery store, grab it. Don't wait. Don't comparison shop. Just buy it. Because tomorrow, it might not be there. Your backup plan? Learn to roast a whole chicken yourself, because convenience food just became very inconvenient. Item 6, sparkling water. Okay, here's the one that's going to blow your mind. Sparkling water. Yes, you heard that right. That bubbly drink everyone became obsessed with during the pandemic. It's vanishing from shelves faster than ice cream on a hot day. And the reason why is absolutely insane. Picture this. You walk into Target, Walmart, or your local grocery store looking for your favorite La Croix or Bubbly. The sparkling water aisle looks like a tornado hit it. Maybe there's one lonely can of unflavored store brand sitting there, mocking you. Here's what's really happening behind the scenes, and it reads like a conspiracy thriller. First, we're running out of carbon dioxide. Yeah, the stuff that makes your water fizzy. You'd think CO2 would be everywhere, right? Wrong. The industrial facilities that capture and process carbon dioxide for food use are breaking down faster than they can be repaired. It's like a domino effect. One plant goes offline, and suddenly half the country can't get bubbles in their drinks. But wait, it gets worse. Remember how everyone discovered sparkling water during lockdown? Well, we never stopped drinking it. Americans are now consuming sparkling water like it's going out of style. The demand has skyrocketed 300% since 2020, but production capacity hasn't caught up. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with a garden hose. The manufacturers are literally scrambling. I'm talking about midnight emergency meetings, executives pulling their hair out, trying to figure out how to keep up. One insider told me they've never seen anything like it in 30 years of beverage production. And here's the kicker that nobody's talking about: aluminum cans. You know those sleek, colorful cans that make sparkling water look so appealing? There's a massive shortage. The aluminum industry is prioritizing beer and soda companies because they have bigger contracts. Sparkling water brands are getting the leftovers. So now, these companies have to make impossible decisions. Do they make unflavored sparkling water in plastic bottles? Do they focus only on their top 3 flavors and ditch everything else? Some brands are literally choosing between lime and grapefruit because they can't produce both. Last week, I went to 5 different stores looking for grapefruit bubbly. 5 stores. The cashier at the last one actually laughed and said, "You and everyone else, buddy. We haven't seen that flavor in 3 weeks." But here's where it gets really crazy. Peak season demand is hitting right now. February and March are when people start their New Year health kick seriously. Everyone's ditching sodas for sparkling water, thinking they're making a healthy choice. The timing couldn't be worse. One beverage industry expert told me this is creating a perfect storm. Limited CO2, aluminum shortages, skyrocketing demand, and seasonal buying patterns all colliding at once. It's like the universe conspired against your afternoon fizzy drink. Some stores are now rationing sparkling water. I kid you not. There are limit 2 per customer signs popping up. It's like we're back in 2020, but instead of toilet paper, we're hoarding seltzer. And the prices? Don't even get me started. A 12-pack that used to cost $3.99 is now pushing $6.99 in some places. Supply and demand, people. When something becomes scarce, retailers know they can charge more. The wildest part? This shortage is hitting the expensive brands hardest. LaCroix, Perrier, San Pellegrino. These premium sparkling waters are becoming luxury items. Meanwhile, the cheap store brands are easier to find because they use different suppliers and simpler flavoring processes. So if you're a sparkling water addict like half of America, you better start stocking up now. Or learn to love tap water with a soda stream. Because this shortage isn't ending anytime soon, and your afternoon fizz might become a weekend treat. This is the new reality of 2026, folks. Even our bubbles aren't guaranteed anymore. Look, these 6 missing items aren't just random bad luck. They're warning signs of something much bigger happening to America's food system right now. Supply chain experts are calling 2026 a perfect storm year. We're dealing with shortages and rising costs, unlike anything we've seen since World War II. And it's only February. Here's what most people don't realize. The government shutdown that happened recently, it didn't just affect federal workers. It froze financial assistance to farmers during the most critical time of year, harvest and crop planting season. Thousands of farmers couldn't get the loans they needed to plant crops for this year. We're literally looking at food shortages in 2027 because of decisions made in Washington 3 months ago. Add climate change on top of that. The droughts, floods, and extreme weather aren't just affecting one crop here and there. They're systematically destroying entire supply chains. When 90% of America's cauliflower comes from California, and California gets hit with unprecedented freezing, that's not a local problem anymore. Then you've got the labor crisis. Truck drivers, factory workers, farm hands, they're all leaving these industries for better paying, safer jobs. Can you blame them? But when a food processing plant can't find enough workers, your grocery store feels it within weeks. And here's the scary part. Most grocery stores only keep about 3 days of inventory. When something goes wrong anywhere in the chain, those shelves empty fast. So what can you do about it? First, diversify your shopping. Don't rely on one store or one brand. If you love Cheerios, try 3 different stores and maybe pick up some Kashi as backup. Second, build a small buffer, not hoarding, but maybe keep 2 weeks of non-perishables instead of 3 days. Think rice, pasta, canned goods, frozen vegetables. Third, embrace flexibility. If your usual orange juice isn't available, try apple juice or cranberry. The nutrition police won't arrest you for switching brands. And honestly, this might be the push we all need to eat more local food and cook more at home. When the industrial food system gets shaky, communities that grow their own food and support local farmers do way better. The bottom line is this: 2026 is teaching us that the abundance we took for granted isn't guaranteed. The grocery store isn't a magic place where food just appears. It's the end of a massive, complex, fragile system. And right now, that system is breaking down. I want to hear from you. What shortages have you noticed in your area? Are you seeing empty shelves I didn't mention? Drop a comment below, and let's create a real-time shortage map from real people. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening in our grocery stores, smash that like button. Seriously, the algorithm needs to know people care about this stuff. And subscribe with notifications on, because I'm tracking these supply chain issues every week. Next week, I'm diving into why prescription medications are becoming harder to find. You don't want to miss that one. Remember, staying informed isn't about creating panic. It's about being prepared and making smart decisions for your family. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.